Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever noticed how a simple conversation with an elder can leave you thinking for days? It might be a story from their past, a piece of advice shared over a cup of tea, or even just the way they handled a challenge with calm resilience. There's something extraordinary about the wisdom that comes from those who've walked a longer road. For young people, listening to elders isn't just about hearing stories. It's about unlocking lessons that can shape their lives in profound ways. Let's explore 4 powerful insights young people can gain from the generations that came before them. Before we begin, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any video. Number 1. Resilience in the face of challenges. Have you ever faced a moment in life where everything seemed to fall apart, where the weight of challenges made you question whether you had the strength to keep going? We've all had times like that. It might be failing an important exam, losing a job you thought was secure, or facing a personal setback that shakes your confidence. In those moments, it feels like the world is testing us. But here's the truth: resilience isn't about never falling, it's about learning how to rise again, stronger than before. Resilience in the face of challenges is one of the most valuable lessons we can learn, and it's often the one that shapes our character the most. Think about it: if life were always smooth, if we never faced obstacles, how would we ever discover our inner strength? It is in the tough seasons that we uncover what we're truly capable of. Challenges force us to stretch beyond our comfort zones, to adapt, and to develop grit. They don't define us by the difficulty they bring, they define us by how we respond. Let me share a simple story. A young man I once knew had a dream of becoming a professional athlete. He trained hard, poured his heart into every practice, and gave it everything he had. Then, one day, an injury threatened to end his career before it even began. For months, he was stuck in recovery, unable to do what he loved. Many people told him to give up, to find another path. But he refused to let that setback be the end of his story. He focused on rehabilitation, learned new ways to strengthen his body, most importantly, kept his mindset strong. Eventually, he not only returned to the sport, but came back sharper and more determined. That experience, while painful, gave him resilience that later helped him face even bigger challenges in life. So, what can we take from stories like this? First, resilience begins with perspective. When something goes wrong, instead of asking, "Why me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" That simple shift changes a setback into an opportunity for growth. Second, resilience requires action, not just intention. When life knocks you down, even the smallest step forward matters. Maybe it's updating your resume after losing a job, or reaching out for help when you feel stuck. Every small action builds momentum. And third, resilience thrives on support. You don't have to carry every burden alone. Talking to a mentor, leaning on a friend, or simply sharing your struggles can lighten the load and remind you that challenges are part of the human experience, not something you have to face in isolation. Let me ask you, what challenge are you facing right now that feels bigger than you? And what would happen if, instead of letting it defeat you, used it as fuel to grow? Resilience doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It means choosing to stand back up, even when it hurts, refusing to let circumstances write the ending of your story. The truth is, resilience is like a muscle. The more we use it, the stronger it becomes. Every time you bounce back from disappointment, every time you rise after failure, you're training yourself to be tougher, wiser, and more capable. And that strength just carry you through one challenge. It prepares you for everything still ahead. So, when life tests you, and it surely will, remember this: resilience is your greatest ally. It's the voice inside that whispers, "You can get through this." It's the courage to stand tall when the ground beneath you feels shaky. And it's the quiet but powerful reminder that no challenge, no matter how difficult, has the power to define you, unless you let it. Number 2, the value of relationships over material success. Have you ever noticed that the moments we remember most in life aren't about the things we bought, but the people we shared them with. Think about it. When you look back on a birthday, a trip, or even a tough time, what comes to mind first isn't the brand of clothes you wore or the money you had in your pocket. It's the laughter of a friend, the support of family, or the comfort of someone simply being there. That's because, deep down, we know that relationships are worth far more than material success ever could be. In today's fast-paced world, it's so easy to get caught up in the chase, chasing money, promotions, status, or the latest possessions. While there's nothing wrong with ambition or financial goals, the danger comes when we let them replace the connections that actually give our lives meaning. The truth is, material success might fill your wallet, but only relationships fill your heart. Let me share a story. There was a man who spent most of his life focused on building his business. He was successful by every external measure, wealthy, respected, admired. But in his later years, when his health began to decline, he realized something. Despite all his achievements, what he longed for most wasn't more money or recognition. It was time with his family. He admitted he wished he had chosen more dinners with his children over late nights at the office, more phone calls to his friends instead of extra meetings. His story is a reminder that at the end of the day, success feels hollow if there's no one to share it with. So, how can we, right now, begin to put relationships first? The first step is simple: be present. In a world full of distractions, giving someone your full attention is a powerful gift. That means putting your phone down during a conversation, really listening instead of just waiting for your turn to speak, showing the people in your life that they matter. The second step is to invest time, not just money. You don't need lavish gifts or expensive outings to build meaningful relationships. What people value most is your presence, your willingness to sit with them, to share stories, to laugh together, or even just to listen when they need it. A coffee with a friend, a walk with a sibling, or even a few minutes of heartfelt conversation can do more to strengthen bonds than anything you could buy. And third, express gratitude often. We sometimes assume people know how much they mean to us, but the truth is, words of appreciation matter. A simple, "I'm grateful for you," or "I really appreciate what you did for me," can deepen a relationship and remind both you and the other person of the value you share. Let me ask you, when was the last time you told someone you care about how much they mean to you? And if you haven't done it in a while, what's stopping you from doing it today? Relationships are like plants. They grow when nurtured, but they wither when neglected. The most successful life isn't measured by how much you own, but by how deeply you're connected. Material success may bring comfort, but relationships bring joy, purpose, and belonging. So don't wait until later to realize this truth. Prioritize the people around you now, because when you look back years from today, won't be the cars, the houses, or the bank balance that bring a smile to your face. It will be the faces of those you loved and the memories you created together is the true wealth of life. Number 3, the power of patience and perspective. Have you ever planted a seed and expected it to grow overnight? Of course not. We know that nature takes its own time. Roots need to form, stems need to push through the soil, and leaves need sunlight to flourish. Yet, when it comes to our own lives, we often forget this truth. We want instant results, immediate progress, and quick success. But the reality is, the most meaningful achievements require patience and the right perspective. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about how you carry yourself while you wait. Perspective is not just how you see a situation, it's about choosing to see beyond the moment of struggle. Together, they shape the way we experience life's challenges and opportunities. When we lack patience, we become frustrated, giving up just before things begin to take shape. When we lack perspective, we lose sight of the bigger picture, letting temporary setbacks overshadow long-term possibilities. Let me share a story. A young woman I know dreamed of becoming a writer. She sent her first manuscript to dozens of publishers, and each time she was met with rejection. It would have been easy for her to quit, to believe her dream wasn't meant for her. But instead, she practiced patience. She used every rejection as an opportunity to improve her craft, to gain perspective on what readers might need, and to refine her skills. Years later, her persistence paid off when she finally received an acceptance letter. Not only was her book published, but it went on to inspire thousands of people. Looking back, she often said, it wasn't just the success that mattered. It was the patience and perspective she developed along the way that changed her life. So how can we learn to apply this in our own lives? First, remind yourself that progress is rarely visible in the beginning. Just like the seed underground, growth is happening even when you can't see it. Instead of constantly checking for results, focus on nurturing the process. Showing up consistently, putting in effort, trusting that your work is building towards something greater. Second, practice reframing setbacks. When something doesn't go the way you hoped, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Or, how might this challenge actually be shaping me for the better? By shifting your perspective, transform obstacles into stepping stones. Third, build small rituals of patience. This could mean taking a deep breath before responding in a difficult conversation, giving yourself a 24-hour pause before making a big decision, or celebrating small wins instead of waiting for the final outcome. These simple habits train your mind to embrace patience in daily life, making it easier to stay steady in bigger moments. Think about it. How many dreams are abandoned, not because they were impossible, but because someone gave up too soon? How many times have we looked back and realized that if we had just held on a little longer, the breakthrough was right around the corner? Patience and perspective don't just help us endure the waiting, they help us grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the success that lies ahead. The truth is, life unfolds in its own time, not ours. And when we learn to trust that timing, to stay patient in the process, and to hold perspective in the storm, we find peace even before the result arrives. So the next time you feel frustrated by delays or discouraged by setbacks, remember, a seed never complains about the soil or the rain. It simply grows when the time is right. And so will you. Number 4, lessons in gratitude and simple joys. Have you ever noticed how the smallest things often leave the biggest imprint on our hearts? A smile from a stranger, the warmth of morning sunlight. Through your window, the sound of laughter with a friend. These are not grand achievements or expensive possessions. They are the moments that make life feel rich. Gratitude and simple joys don't require wealth, status, or perfection. They only require us to pause, notice, appreciate what's already around us. Gratitude is more than just saying, thank you. It's a mindset, a way of seeing life not for what's missing, for what's present. Simple joys, on the other hand, are the everyday treasures we often overlook because we're too busy chasing something bigger. When we learn to combine gratitude with an appreciation for life's simple moments, we unlock a deep sense of fulfillment that material success alone can never provide. I remember a story of an elderly woman who lived a modest life. She didn't have a big house or luxurious possessions, but every morning she sat on her porch with a cup of tea, watching the sunrise. When asked how she managed to stay so happy despite having so little, she said, "Every day I wake up, I find one thing to be thankful for. Some days it's the sunrise, some days it's a call from a friend, and sometimes it's just the fact that I can still take a walk outside." Her secret wasn't in owning more. It was in appreciating what she already had. So how can we bring this lesson into our own lives? First, start a daily gratitude practice. It doesn't need to be complicated. Just write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. They don't have to be life-changing. In fact, the smaller, the better. Maybe it's the taste of your morning coffee, the sound of rain on the window, or the text from a loved one that made you smile. Over time, this practice shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's already abundant. Second, slow down to notice simple joys. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to move faster, achieve more, and stay busy. But joy often hides in the pauses. Take a walk without your phone, savor your meals, instead of rushing through them, or spend 5 minutes just breathing and noticing your surroundings. These little acts of presence open your eyes to the beauty already around you. Third, share your gratitude. When you thank someone sincerely or acknowledge the role they've played in your life, you not only deepen your own sense of appreciation, you strengthen your relationships too. Gratitude expressed has a ripple effect, spreading positivity far beyond yourself. Now, let me ask you, when was the last time you stopped and truly enjoyed a simple moment without worrying about what comes next? When was the last time you told someone how much you appreciated them, not for something grand, but just for being who they are? The truth is, life isn't always about chasing milestones or waiting for big victories. Sometimes, the greatest victories are in the everyday moments we choose to celebrate. Gratitude and simple joys don't erase life's challenges, but they give us the strength to face them with a lighter heart. They remind us that happiness isn't waiting somewhere in the future. It's hidden in today, right here, in the little things we often take for granted. So let's not wait for extraordinary moments to feel grateful. Let's train ourselves to find beauty in the ordinary. Because when we do, we realize that a truly rich life is not built on what we accumulate, but on the joy we feel in appreciating what we already have. At the heart of it all, intergenerational wisdom teaches us that true strength lies in resilience, true wealth is found in relationships, true growth comes through patience, and true happiness shines in gratitude for life's simple joys. These lessons, passed down from those who've walked before us, are not just stories, they are guiding lights. If young people embrace them, they gain more than advice. They gain a roadmap for a meaningful life. Let us listen, learn, carry this wisdom forward with courage and purpose. Thank you